right, guys, Bruce with you from Targeted Wealth Creation, back at it with YBIT. Sad to say the YBIT news isn't so good, folks. So just tell it like it is. So even though BITO's up 9.84, we were up 1.82. There's two issues at stake here. First one is when you get capped, you rely massively like we did in all three of the funds. The other two funds had synthetics where we rose up above them, right? So with coin, we went down from 218 to 242, and our synthetic was 230. So once you go above the synthetic, it's all profit, and it's very profitable as you're rising. But and the same thing with Misty, we blew through the 1550 and we went to 1611 all the way down from 1398. I think, I don't recall the exact number, but I know how far we went, 1611, and I know the synthetic strike price. The problem with YBIT, I'll just spell it out for you. When it came out, the underlying was very expensive, right? So Bitcoin and BITO were much higher. So its NAV reduction has happened. Okay. Now that it has an opportunity to catch up, it can't really do it. So I kind of correlate this to Tesla. Although I wasn't covering it, I can analyze the chart and I totally understand how these income options work to the nth degree. So the problem gets to be when you're down, 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 you're collecting income, okay, and you're paying out an 80 or 90% yield. But what they're doing is in this situation that Coney and Misty don't have to do except occasionally and never to this degree is they're riding tremendously underneath, okay, these synthetics. So when you're writing a 35, you collect a bunch of money, okay? You buy a call for a penny and sell a put for 15.45. So they've been doing that consistently. So when you go over here and you look at payouts, you see all of this cash, but they're not paying you that much cash. They know better because the reality is they have a big debt obligation in the paper loss. They're so far away. And I get it. I don't blame them in a way for what they're doing, but I'm trying to explain to you the situation it gets us in now. So if you're bullish, 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 and we go to 70, 80, 90, 100,000, YBIT's going to be a big winner. But it's not going to be a big winner until they close out this, take the loss, okay? And all that does is lower all of this cash they've been built up. It wipes out all that cash. So that when BTC runs and BITO runs, which is BTC futures, then we can also have a synthetic that performs. So unlike Misty and Coney, our synthetic did not perform. Why? Because it's $10 underneath the strike price. And you're getting killed on the weeklies. Okay, everybody got killed on their weeklies in Misty and Coney. But when you get killed on them and you can't make it up here because you're so far out. So BITO moved up $2 almost. I don't have, let's go back and do that. Okay. Yeah, it moved within 1 penny of $2, right? It went from 2022 to 22.21. And normally that's going to, let's say the synthetic had been 21 or even 22, then we'd be in the money ready to go, right? But that's not the case. We are this, right? We're $13, $12.80. We're 36% underneath that with 2.5 weeks. So I say now is the time, just close it out, spend all that money to close it out because you've collected all that money except for the $2 you've paid us, right? Over the distributions, right? You paid us $1.37 and $1.21. right? But you collected a lot of money. Okay. So that's a big liability still sitting out there. So take it off and get us close if we're truly running. Otherwise, we're not gonna be able to perform very well. So I thought I'd just give you some detail here so you can see the difference. Like, well, why, is it YBIT's fault? What's wrong with it? No, a good example is Bitto did just fine. So, I mean, I hate to say this, but if you're an income guy right now, you were better off in Bitto than you were in YBIT. And I like to promote YieldMax funds when I can. And I really had high hopes for this. And it's paid, look, it's paid a good yield. But honestly, it needs to do a better job in here and bite the bullet. Maybe they wait till the end of the week and they roll out of this synthetic. I mean, they got 17 days, but that's not the point. Go to a 25 or a 26. See, they tried that before in a sinking BTC environment, and that didn't work very well. So they wanted to collect more money over here so they could pay you and figure that eventually they'll get out of that. Well, now's the time, guys. I'm telling you, fund managers, you need to take action here. Just FYI. So those of you that are, I'm a little disappointed as a shareholder here, but I own Bitto. I can see it plain as day, and I'm doing fine in Coney and Misty, right? And I've got some 2x BTC as well, besides just Bitto. And that was more in a protection mode. But boy, when that thing, I'm out of any shorts and now I'm long and I'm long 2x. So let's see if this run has any teeth. But that's the situation, peoples. So you can see here, okay, this one needs to get updated. When they wrote these, they were reasonably close, right? In a normal crypto, you'd never do that. But they weren't seeing a normal crypto. They were seeing a very flat, and they could get away with writing a little bit out there and collecting. But they weren't making any money on the synthetic because they couldn't get this thing to go up. BTC's been in a downtrend since pretty much since the fund opened. And instead, they went really high so that their call buying was super cheap and their put buying was giving them a lot of money. Well, and then they rolled out of that and repeated the same thing. But now I think they honestly can see that it's probably a better situation. So we're now almost 8% under and 5% under. So here you are in holdings, peoples, right? You actually added 275,000 shares, almost 9%, because people say, hey, if BTC keeps this performance, we're going to be in good shape, and rightfully so eventually. But nobody in an income fund like this, when they look at BTC going up, where it went up, and then BITO going up 10%, and this thing going less than 2. Why? If that synthetic would have done what the other synthetics done, it would have offset that. But look, we pulled 5 million, okay, and technically 4.4 million, right? We gained 4.4 million, went from a $37 million loss to a 32.6, right? So 3.4. But look at this. We've got a 3.7 liability where we collected 886 and right now we got to spend 3.7 to buy it back. So, yeah, there's a little bit, but had we been in a closer situation, it would have been better and continue to be better. So, I think they will likely this coming week roll out of that. And it's okay to go $3 or $4 above you, possibly. Let's see what kind of legs. Let's see if we can get a confirmation and a close higher, right? And we stay above this 63 window. Um, so that's kind of what I got for you. Is there anything else on the weeklies? I mean, this is a situation where we've still got good money here, but at the end of the day, when we have to buy that back, and there's no real money to make in the other one, right? When we roll out of it, we have to go higher to capture money. So 32 million has to come from somewhere, people. So right now we've got 10 million in the kitty, right? We had almost 20 million here. and they paid us, you know, around 5 or 6 million. If you take this share count times $1.21 and this one, it's not that much that they paid us because the share count was small. The share count's still really small relatively. Um, so this fund can start doing a lot better. They just need to kind of square up their synthetics a little bit. So here we are now, right, with the 32. But boy, if Bitcoin keeps running here, you know, at some point we got to roll that thing, and it may force them into having to roll high so it doesn't eat all their cash. And I don't want them to go too high again. Okay, guys, I think that's what I got for you. There's not a magic bullet here. So hopefully that helps explain to you a little bit the underperformance. Okay, guys, let me give you one thing on holding. So this is always interesting. We closed at 1562, and they're saying realistically, at least I think that's the right number. Whoops. No, it's not, guys. I apologize. I apologize. 1591. Nope, we're 16. Yeah, we're 1620. Okay. I got to just give it a bigger number here. Must be up to 46. Yep, 1620 and 16. I kept looking at that, knowing that I had this all correct, but I wasn't picking up the right day from there. Apologize for that. So we're real close to what the value ought to be. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. It's getting late. Again, Bruce with Targeted Wealth Creation, not a financial advisor, not financial advice, fun and entertainment. This one wasn't quite as much fun as Coney and Misty, but at least I'm not screaming at the fund managers. They really haven't done any poor execution. It just maybe they'll change the placement of the synthetics at the end of the week. Okay, guys, bye. Have a great one.